afternoon, and thanks for the invitation. I'm very happy to be part of this panel, and I was really very interested in hearing my colleagues, which talk until now. It was a lot of things were said, so I will try not to really repeat the things. So I think what is this emergency ordinance giving us is giving us visibility for 1 year as a sector, and it's giving the visibility to the customers. This saying, assuming that there will be no changes. In the last 5 months, we had many changes in the framework, so I hope that now we have really something which is going to give us that visibility and give us the predictability. It's giving to the end users, it's giving them a fixed price for a majority of consumers, fixed price for 1 year, and it's giving them protection against the development of the prices, which is something which is very positive. On the other hand, suppliers are remaining to be the financing bodies of this supporting scheme, but with a clear way, or much better and much more clear way, how those money which the suppliers are compensating or financing, how they are going to be compensated. And just to give the magnitude of what the suppliers are compensating in this scheme is, we are now having the market price around 1,300 RON per megawatt hour. And with the price caps, the suppliers are selling that energy for 150 RON per megawatt hour to the end user. For those which are with the price cap of 680 RON per megawatt hour, or 0.68 RON per kilowatt hour, when we deduct all the regulated fees, taxes, and so on. Or it is 300 RON per megawatt hour sold to the customers which are between 100 kilowatt and 300 kilowatt hour, or roughly 500 RON. So suppliers are buying for 1,300 and selling it for 150 or 300 or 500, and the difference is financed by the supplier. So you can see that the amount of the money is huge, and it's very important that we are going to have the compensation in place as soon as possible, and the money will really start to flow from the state to the suppliers to make it through this year. I would like to just make small comments here. We are 5 months from the beginning of this supporting scheme. The system of compensation is still not fully working. So there are still parts of compensations which the suppliers are not receiving because the mechanism is not set in place. So this is something which is going to be very important to change. For the distributors, there is an improvement. We are having the clarity on how additional costs which are coming from the acquisition of electricity prices, how they are going to be addressed. But still we are in situation that distributors are buying for 1,300 RON, and what is recognized is 450 RON. So again, this is a huge difference. And the difference is, as was mentioned by Zoltan, it's going to be compensated partially by tariffs, but then it will be postponed, it will be capitalized and postponed for the next 5 years. So what we are facing here is that the current mechanism is postponing the costs into the future. So we are going to go to the future with big amounts of money, which will have to be paid, will have to be compensated by the sector in the future. So this is pretty much what the scheme is meaning. So I would like to really say that, once again, summarize, it's bringing stability and visibility for the consumers, which is very important, and it's very positive. Compensations for the energy sector are addressed. It's important to be fully put it in the operation. Energy sector is going to face huge cash flow problems or cash flow challenges. which is for suppliers, distributors, and transmission operator. And as well, we are postponing big part of the cost to the future. So it will be very, very important to really use this 1 year when the customers are protected for us as energy companies, but as well as authorities, to motivate us and support the customers to use this 1 year to invest money into energy efficiency, to invest money on the prosumers, to become more independent and be able to face the real prices, which sooner or later will come, because price of energy is not expected to come back to the prices which were in 2019, 2020. And that's something which is really, really important to convince and explain customers that this 1 year of protection is the great opportunity to invest for future. And as well have the very open discussions between us as a sector and the authorities. What are the future focus? What are the future priorities? Because we are going to end up this 1 year with postponed costs. We are going to end up this year with a lot of pressure, continuous pressure on the prices. And we really have to use this year to set up the basis for the future. What I would like to say at the end is we really spent last month in a lot of discussions with the authorities, and we ended up with very constructive discussions in the last 2 weeks. So we have now emergency ordinance, which I believe it's the best achievable in this moment. It has still it's bringing a lot of challenges to us. And I think it will be very important to maintain this constructive communication, which we had in last 2 weeks for the future, to really implement what is decided and find the solutions for the future. Because really the prices are not about to be significantly decreasing. Prices are not going to go to prices of 2019, 2020. So the problem is with the energy sector, and we need to really have a serious long-term structured discussion.